We specialize in custom design and would be honored to have the opportunity to discuss it with you. Call us at 817-400-4040, email info@romikadesigns.com, or visit us on the web at romikadesigns.com.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395.
Hey travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1820. 855-325-1820. That's 855-325-1820.
Out of deck carpet giving you the blues? Tired of your old dingy and broken tile? Let my friends at the Floor Store in Cleveland, Texas give your home the makeover it deserves. This is Old Taco Joe coming to you for the Floor Store. Whether it's carpet, tile, wood flooring, or real wood laminate, the Floor Store can cover all of your flooring needs. Located at 405 West Henderson Street in Cleveland, Texas, owner Brent Harris can help. Shower tile, tub surrounds, even backsplashes. Give them a call today at 817-641-9444. The Floor Store, they got you covered.
Good morning and welcome to a Wednesday edition of JoCo Vibes. How is everybody doing this morning? It's Wednesday at 5:25 and I thought when I looked it was about 70 something degrees, 76. It's going to be I think a cool day, not too hot. And man, we got some great election results yesterday, especially for Johnson County. We did have it, for a primary runoff. We had a pretty great turnout with people, coming to vote. And
yeah, total numbers. Early voting was even
great.
Better.
I know. And so
congratulations.
I'm glad to see that. Yes, congratulations.
Right? Well, but I mean, congratulations to the people who got out and voted.
Right.
Not just the winners, but the fact that people
actually went out and voted and it really, I guarantee it's okay. I guarantee if people would call in, they would say, I didn't wait in line, or I maybe waited 5-10 minutes. I mean, I just don't know.
I didn't even wait 5 minutes.
I didn't either,
but I early voted.
I early voted also, but I do know someone who voted yesterday and they walked right in. And I'm glad I texted him when I did, because he was asking me, hey, because we live close to each other. He's like, hey, where exactly do we need to vote? And I was like, well, let me make sure I'm giving you the right place. I think it's here. And so then I just kind of, mentioned the county judge situation. And he told me later, he's like, I'm glad you texted me when you did, because 5 more minutes, I may have voted for the other person.
Thinking that he was,
yes,
that Harmon
he did.
Was
he thought he
running
was
for re-election.
Yes, he did.
Man, crazy.
So he was like,
Sorry,
man,
I had to run it.
literally he was walking in and to the sub courthouse, and he was pulling out his ID when I text him. That's how close it was. So I'm glad
Awesome.
I took that chance to go ahead and spill that out to him. So, but yes, I mean, you did a great job, citizens, getting out and voting. So if you voted, pat yourself on the back
I
because
voted.
that's what we should be doing. That's how our voices are going to be heard, people.
Very, very
So-
cool. Very cool. Very cool. And we enjoyed a great little gathering at Miranda's last night
Yes.
for a watch party, just to
Mhm.
hang out and support one of the candidates. And excuse me,
It was a good turnout.
can you hear my little wheeze?
Just a little, yes.
Yes. It's not coming from my lungs. It's coming from my nose.
Oh,
It's
the wheeze.
it's
Yes.
I have come to find, and it's terrible because it does sound like I'm wheezing. Like, go get your inhaler. Like, people want to tell me, go get your inhaler.
It's not going to help.
But I have a hole. I have a hole in my nose. I have a hole in my cartilage, literally from one side to the
Yeah.
other. And
Just
maybe
heard it.
I am wheezing. I can't tell. Nope, it's my nose. What are you looking at?
Somebody passed by.
Oh, well, who was it? Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Did you wave?
That
Okay.
person didn't look
All right,
in.
sorry, you threw.
I'm sorry.
You
It
totally
kinda just
threw me
threw
off.
me off.
Okay, you threw me off. All right. Anyway, yeah. So it's apparently hereditary because my
Mhm.
mom had it too, and it's developed over the years. And I actually didn't know that that's what was happening, and so it sucks. I can actually have surgery they can take cartilage or skin, kind of like a skin graft
Uh-huh.
from somewhere else inside my nose and fill the hole. Or they said that they could take it from another part of the body and create that skin graft
But
and
you
close it
gotta
up.
find time to go in and do it.
Yeah, but it's surgery, and I'm like, do I
Mm.
want to do any kind of surgery on my nose? So I'm so sorry if it sounds like I'm wheezing. I promise you, I'm not
It's
dying, or maybe some
barely
people
even
want me to.
noticeable. I mean, I really don't think anyone noticed on
Okay,
air.
so Todd notices it, and
I only noticed it because you pointed it back out, and I do know about it.
yeah. I was sitting at dinner. Morning, Jamie. I was sitting at dinner with my husband a few nights ago and another couple, and he was like, "Could you please blow your nose?" And I'm like, "It's not going to help.
It's like
It's terrible." I do actually, like, once I start to decongest, it does get better because it's not necessarily the hole.
gets filled.
It's yes, partially actually. It creates like a whistle booger. TMI for those listening. Everybody gets a whistle booger. Don't act like I'm special. Okay, because I'm not. I mean, I'm special in my own way, but not special when
Right.
it comes to that. So yesterday was just a good day all around. We started out. We're gonna kind of catch up on a bunch of different things today, like we normally would do on a Tuesday. But we weren't live yesterday, and we weren't live because we chose to go down to Cleburne and go to court with a friend to
Mhm.
support or just to be there as a support system, knowing that it's a 5-minute process,
Right.
literally,
Mhm.
until you get into court and a jury's been selected. If it's going to that route and they're ready to present the case, it's every time you go in, it takes about 5 minutes, and it's just, hey, all right, we'll see you next time and let you know what's
Yeah.
going to happen
Right.
next time. And so, until you get into the details of it, it's about a 5-minute process, but you do have to show up if you're the person.
Correct.
This wasn't for me, by the way. We were there to support a friend, and happily so. And then after we did that, we ate at Chez Fin
Chez Fin, yes.
for that's the first time I've ever
Me
eaten
too,
there.
and I grew up around here.
And I've been to that. I've been to the courthouse multiple times. for multiple reasons, but I've been there to support a friend before in the past, like a few years ago, and then of course I've gone up there to deliver stuff for our law
Right.
for Todd's law office and stuff. So anyway, so I've always driven by it, and I've just inquired to people, okay, tell me about Chafin. What is it? Have you eaten there? And so finally, when we were done yesterday, that's where we went and ate, and it's a cute little, if you've never eaten there, it's a cute little, very nostalgic diner, cafe,
Yes.
I guess you would call it. That's just really what it reminds me of. And there's a train track that runs around the entire rim of this restaurant. It looks a lot bigger from the outside. Like when you're pulling down Henderson, Chafin looks bigger than it is, but when you get in there, it's tiny.
Right.
It's very, very
I
tiny.
know. I
Right?
was a little shocked about how tiny it was compared to what I thought it looked like from the outside.
Right. Yeah.
So
It was-
yes.
So
I was
anyway,
like,
but I liked that it
oh.
was. It was very quaint and very homey, and
oh, it's such good food.
it was good. Yeah, it was good.
It really was.
Yeah, we had a good breakfast, and
Yeah.
got
Ate way too much.
to pray together and chat and reflect. And someone's ringing our doorbell.
Yep.
Oh, they went out the door. It must be Trisha. Anyway, so
Gina, I saw her come in.
so that's why we weren't live yesterday.
Yes.
So anyway,
we were
on election
live, but
yeah, and then
live with life.
right, exactly. We weren't in the studio. So Tuesdays usually we do our focus word of the week. I'm excited because I haven't even looked. I haven't even looked to see what it is.
How it works with
what's going on.
It coincides with life itself.
Right. So last week, the focus word of the week was silence.
Silence.
And this week, the focus word is pace. Whoever keeps his word, in him truly the love of God is perfected. Whoever keeps his word, in him truly the love of God is perfected. By this we may know that we are in him. Whoever says he abides in him ought to walk in the same way in which he walked. 1 John 2nd chapter, verses 5 and 6. And the focus tip is, when you find yourself running full speed ahead this week, remember the word pace and ask God to help you walk in peace. I like that.
That is pretty.
Yeah. You want me to read that again?
Yes.
The focus tip for the word of the week is pace. And the focus tip is, when you find yourself running full speed ahead this week, remember the word pace and ask God to help you walk in peace. Pace yourself. I like it. Pace yourself with peace.
Right.
And so a good prayer, if you're a praying person, is, Jesus, determine my pace and guide my feet. Amen. I think that should be guide my mouth as well.
Or
and I mean
fingers,
that
if you're a keyboard warrior.
Yeah. But I mean, in general,
But
I
yeah.
mean, guide your feet, however it is that you're walking this week, and let that reflect in what's coming out of your mouth and what you're projecting out to the world.
Correct.
Just put into perspective and focus on peace. I really like that. Proverbs 4:25 says, let your eyes look directly forward and your gaze be straight before you. So, I kind of look at that too as saying, don't focus on the past. You have to focus on the present, pace yourself, do everything from a peaceful place, as possible. Right. It's a reflectful day. I mean, there's 21 people dead. 19 of them are children.
Right.
And that's so far because they're still treating many. So our prayers, please be in deep prayer for Uvalde, Texas, and the students that the students that survived, the parents that have children that survived, the parents, of course, and the families who've lost children, lost teachers, lost their loved ones. God bless them, because they're not here today because they were protecting children. And man, I'm gonna do my best not to cry, because it just watching it this morning, it was just very sad,
Right.
and preventable.
And
This stuff is preventable.
There's a lot of people who don't understand that teachers literally will throw themselves in arm's way for their children that they teach every day. It may not be a child that they gave birth to and are raising for 18 years, but there is not a teacher I do not know that would not help protect.
You got really big hair this morning.
So me or you?
I do. Sorry. Oh well. Sorry, I'm just looking at myself
okay.
real quick, and I was like, "Oh, I got some really
Got
big
that
hair
reflection going
on." Yeah, I know there's going to be a lot of discussion, and there I already saw some on the news that I watched this morning and last night about I don't even want to say gun laws, because it was a senator or a congressman who was just appealing to his counterparts to when is enough
Mhm.
enough?
Mhm.
What are we going to do to change the course of what's happening in the
Right.
United States right now? This is the biggest shooting since mass shooting since Sandy Hook,
Mhm.
which at that time when that happened, people wanted to call it a hoax,
Mhm.
which is, I mean, just absurd to even think that people would call something like that a hoax. And these are not hoax. These are people who they're gone, and they're gone permanently. And I know people are going to throw out gun laws, and then their arguments are going to take place on social media over
Mhm.
gun laws. Look, I own guns. Nona owns guns.
I'm certified to carry my gun too. I
Right,
had mine before the law changed.
right. But the thing is, um, I think we just need to
Mhm.
review how some people are getting guns. And I know people want to say, well, you can get one legally. You can buy one illegally. You can buy one on the internet,
Mhm.
which you can. But those are the types of things that need to change. You should not be able to purchase a handgun over the internet. In my humble opinion, if you want to purchase a gun, it should be from a store or from a gun show, or an in-person transaction. But to make it that accessible to an 18-year-old, and I don't know where this kid got the
Mhm.
gun from yet. They can't find his mother still. So there's a lot of unanswered questions.
Right.
So I'm just throwing things out there that people are discussing and that we're
Right.
all going to be discussing. But furthermore, the one thing that I was really questioning yesterday, because they hadn't talked about it yet, was how he got into the school. And what my husband was telling me that he saw is that he shot out the glass. He shot the glass
Yeah,
out and got
'cause
into
our glass
the
is
school.
not most of the glass in our schools are not bulletproof.
And
Some are
yeah, some
because
are.
they were built after the fact.
Yeah.
So my friend posted a fellow educator, it said thoughts and prayers and it was crossed out and it was policy and changes. And I so agree with that. Like we have got to look at our policy and changes throughout America, throughout the states, throughout local, and we've got to make some changes to be able to I would love to say completely stop, but I just feel like people are gonna find ways around things, but to lessen uh, this kind of events.
I think we need to take note of what's happening in other countries.
Mhm.
School shootings, these mass shootings that we're having in the United States aren't happening in other countries.
Mhm.
They're not happening. This doesn't happen in Canada. So this isn't happening in Switzerland and kids and adults are not going in and shooting up schools in other
Right.
countries. So
Mhm.
we have to figure out what's going on
Mhm.
here that it's happening
Again,
here.
policy and changes. We've gotta
Policy
look and see
changes.
what is going on and how can we fix it.
We have to address the mental health crisis. We
Mhm.
have to wake up, and when we see something, say something. You can't be that neighbor that goes, no, 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 you don't want to call and say anything about
Right.
what's going on over at the neighbor's house. You don't get involved, right? Don't get
Right.
involved. I say get involved,
Exactly.
get loud. Be loud and
Mhm.
tell people what's the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario is you were wrong.
Right. And this is what I put when I reposted that. I said, it is time for our parents to get involved and know what's going on. Quit assuming your district is a perfect district. First of all, no
School
district's
district,
perfect.
school district when you're
Yeah, I said district, did I not?
Yeah,
Or
but
school. Okay, school district. No school district's perfect, just like no company is perfect, no person is perfect. But there are ways as a community we can work together to create some good policies and change some things that need to be changed. We can't just assume, oh, it's all sweet and everything's just running really smooth because really you're in denial or you've you've really been fooled. So, and there's not a teacher, I do not believe there's not a teacher alive that doesn't want parents involved. I know that sometimes as parents are like, whoa, but you know what? Or these even these teachers, but there are teachers want parents involved and not just with academics. They want them to be involved all around. We need the help as educators. I promise you. I've been there, I've done it, I know.
I think what I'm trying to figure out is when did that shift take place? Well, I mean, I can say when it took place
Slowly,
when
kinda.
when my kids were in Stribling,
Mhm.
and when we first started in Stribling, almost 14 years ago,
Mhm.
when Mackenzie,
I know what you're gonna say too.
yeah, Mackenzie started there in kindergarten,
Mhm.
and then moved on. There was no uniforms. We had one of the best PTOs.
Mhm.
And and until you get involved in a PTO, you really don't know what a PTO does. It's a parent teacher organization.
Mhm.
You would think that there's academics involved in that organization, but there are not.
Mm-mm.
It is literally about raising funds to help the teachers in the classroom and to give them support,
Mhm.
that because it's expensive. It's expensive, and most of these teachers, they're spending all this stuff out of their own pockets. So it does also go for some, extra fun stuff for the kids on campus and stuff like that. But I cannot remember her name, but our PTO president at the time, she was awesome. I
Mhm.
mean, she was amazing. She was so full of energy. She would come dressed up in, the Cat in the hat and just really rallied the parents to get involved. They
Mhm.
were out there during you know, school drop off and pickup, and inviting parents to get involved in the
Mhm.
PTO, begging them, be a part of this. Do this with us because it's fun, and it was completely
Right.
fun. I enjoyed being a part of it for the next, I'm going to say, 4 years. And then our principal changed. Our principal left, and God bless her. I get it. She
Mm.
she went on to a different experience, and is still is
And
still
we are still in contact with her.
yes,
Yeah.
she's still, she's a
She's
principal at a private school in
Great
Fort Worth.
person.
And absolutely adore Miss Button. I'm just going to say her name, Miss Button. That was her name at the time.
At the time, yes.
And adore her. If you're listening or you know her, tell her I said hi. Absolutely loved her. And so her as a principal, she also created that environment
Correct.
for welcoming the parents into the school. They wanted the help.
Mhm.
I get that there are safety protocols changed because of the school shootings, and that definitely did some things, but I don't think that at that time that was the best thing to take the parents out of the school.
Mhm.
I think that was the time to really welcome us even more and maybe empower the parents on a security type of situation to where they could be added security while in the
Mhm.
school as well. Because I could tell you right now, I'd volunteer.
Right.
I
We
would
had a thing at
volunteer.
Branson called Watchdogs.
Yes, and we have that at
And
the dad
yeah,
program.
yes. Mhm. And I thought it was a great program, and it kinda almost died out when our principal left too, which is about the same time I left too. But I mean, I know it wasn't happening there, and it's not happening anymore, and it's sad because Man, those kids,
It's
first
not
of all,
'cause it's
they
hap-
love
See, that's happening at Stribling.
it's not happening around the whole district.
It's by school.
So
there you have to have a dad. So what I
I
think
know, but no, I think
you gotta have a
think it was
dad
just
step
kind
up
well, yeah, the dad
and start the program.
but all those dads now have kids either in high school or gone. They've graduated. So, you know, if if you're a dad and you are interested, contact me. I'll help you figure out what it is and how to go about it. I'm glad to hear if Stribling is still doing it. But
Yes.
Branson, the last I heard, it's not happening.
So-
And I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's there's not that program anymore in there.
Right.
And here's the thing that really bothered me. It wasn't even Branson, it was at Realm. Of course, now it's called the Gaming Design School or something. Anyway, they were very active, very much like they wanted Academy Nella Dunn parents to be active is how they wanted us to be active. And then all of a sudden, it was so 6th grade year, I was completely active. 7th grade year, got a new person, which is the same person that came to your Stribling that kind of stopped all the parent people. And then all of a sudden I was told, no, he doesn't want any parents volunteering to come up and help. And I'm like, first of all, I'm a parent, but I'm also a teacher that's been in this district and I know protocols and procedures. And why wouldn't you want to help? If I'm volunteering my time the first day of school to help,
why
would
here?
you not want me there?
Yeah.
It was dumbfounding. And then anytime, I'd be like, do you want me to volunteer? No, he doesn't want
Don't
any
you think that
volunteers. Now he's no longer in our district, but still it's ruined it.
Well,
in those years.
That wasn't even the first one that took over
Right.
at Stribling. There was another one.
Right. I know.
And that one was like,
Yeah.
lock the door and we don't want you here. We really don't even want a booster or PTO. We don't want any.
Yeah.
Just let us educate and you
Mhm.
guys just go do your thing.
And I promise you the teachers don't feel like that. The teachers want parents involved.
Oh, I agree with that completely.
They want them there.
And
anyway, if it's helping, cut out something or come and read a book or just come and do the watchdog walk around, the kids love that. I
Yeah.
mean, they love it to see a dad hang around. They're like, you're Dalton's dad. You're tall.
you're 10 feet tall is probably what they say to him.
So teachers definitely want it. And most principals do. Most principals do want them.
Well, I hope that
parents on
this
campus.
is something that parents will push for. I was going to use the Kerr Booster Club as an example, and we'll do that when we come back from break, because we're going to go to commercial here in about 30 seconds. But right before we go, this is something that I shared from Faith Conway posted this yesterday, and I shared it. And it says, some of you would have told David to pray for Goliath and not cause a scene. If God tells you to slay some giants, if God tells me to slay some giants, that's what I'm going to do.
Mhm.
And that's kind of just goes back to that whole, shh, don't get involved.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll talk more about that when we come back from the break. Stay with us here on JoCo Vibes.
Abnormal realities.
I love my mom.
Yep. She sent me a message.
My mom did?
Yeah, Wednesday night. And she invited me over tomorrow night to watch Titanic and share a bowl of popcorn. And I accepted.
You did?
Yep.
That'd be fun.
And she calls it Chaps Only Night. Every Saturday night.
Look.
Miss Dixie,
Look,
how you doing? He said, it's my mom, bro. All right, it's my mom.
I want to hear the answer to the Titanic and popcorn. Go ahead, Mom. What's up?
Oh!
Hi,
Hi, boys. I
Hi,
just
Mom.
wanted to ask Rocky if he wanted butter on that popcorn or not.
I
my
would rather
God.
have the butter somewhere else, but if popcorn's the only place I can have it, I'll take it.
Jeez,
Hey,
dude.
nobody says I can't roll around in it for a little bit.
All right, Mom.
That is my
Love you.
girl. I love you,
Mom.
Dixie.
Abnormal realities
My mom, love you.
Dixie.
Bye. I love you too.
with Ron and Rocky. Weekdays, 4 p.m. and 10 p.m. on JoCo Community Radio.
Holy crap.
When you're hungry for tender brisket or some delicious homemade cobbler, then look no further than Leach Brothers Barbecue, located at 1106 East Henderson in Cleveland, Texas. Leach Brothers has been family-owned and operated since 1950. Take it from me, Taco Joe Orwinski. Todd and his family have been filling my belly breakfast, lunch, and dinner for a long time. Heck, I even have my own booth, open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Come see them for dine-in, carry-out, and all your catering needs.
Hey, there's something you forgot to do. It sure is hot. Are you sweating like a dog? Wait, what? Dogs don't sweat. Oh no, you forgot to get your window tinted. Whether it's the kitchen window that sits in the sun for the hottest part of the day, or you just got new wheels, call Sharp Window Tinting in Burleson. 817-615-9379, or look them up on the web, sharpwindowtint.com.
I guess my bad then.
It's okay.
Welcome back to the second half of JoCo Vibes. I'm Tiffany
Sorry.
Carlen with Nona Reed, choking. I'm not choking her, she's just choking. JoCo. JoCo. Just started to say. JoCo Community Radio is proud to be the voice of Johnson County, Texas, and is live 365 on the TuneIn Radio Network. To listen or watch, simply go to tuneinjoco.com to choose where and how. The JoCo Community Radio app is now available for free on Android and Apple devices. Simply search your store. Check out our lineup and more on jococommunityradio.com. This episode and more brought to you by Patriot Claims, making your insurance work for you. Reach out to your local Texas sales rep, Nona Reed, at toll-free 844-TEX-HAIL. That's 844-TEX, T-E-X, HAIL. Because hail happens here in Texas.
No.
Patriot
Does it
Claims.
really?
If you've got if you've got commercial property or large residential property and you have storm damage, hail, wind, whatever it may be, someone's throwing golf balls at your house, I don't know. You've got to have someone who can advocate for you.
It was golf ball size hail.
Someone's been throwing baseballs around here. A lot of them. Cleveland Railroaders have been practicing at my house. I don't know why. So anyway, you got to have somebody who can advocate for you with your insurance company, because 10 times out of 10, they don't want to pay the full amount of your claim because they're cheap. They just put that money back in their pocket.
That's
so
right.
I'm taking this way deep. So anyway, get her in your corner before the next storm hits. She can help make sure you get paid the proper amount and take care of your property. So good morning, Brenda. Good morning, Mike. Jamie.
And Mike, hopefully we're going to see you at 10.
Saying hello to people who are watching on Facebook, but hello to all of you listening through our app and on the radio across Texas and in other countries. Actually, we have some people who do tune in elsewhere. So
Australians.
we appreciate you.
So a while ago, you were saying, your voice and not being silent. If your voice held no power, they wouldn't try to silence you.
This is true.
Sorry, that
true.
was someone's quote today.
I like that.
Or was it today? Yeah, 45 minutes ago.
I like that. But right before we went to commercial, I had read another one that said some of you would have told David to pray for Goliath and not cause a scene. If God tells me to slay some giants, that's what I'm going to do. Someone else posted that and I shared it yesterday because I thought it was such a powerful statement that, some people get too cushy sitting on the sidelines and going, oh, I'm going to pray for them. And prayer is great.
Right.
But prayer is an action and God, you have to listen for what God is telling you, and when God is telling you to take action. So there's a lot of power in remembering that that we have to be in motion and that we have to take action, and that's how things get done. That's how change gets made, and that's how we fix problems. Nobody fixed a problem by sitting silent in a corner and going, I really hate the color of these walls. I wish I could do something about it. And then not go to the store and buy paint and change the color.
Right.
So, you have to do it. I still sound like I'm wheezing, but I'm not wheezing. It's my nose. I'm so sorry. Anyway. So
hey, those who can comment. If you hear her wheezing, let us know, because I really don't think you do.
You can't hear it.
Now they're going to be like listening.
I'm just self-conscious of it because I can
heard
hear it
once.
I can hear it and it's bugging me. So I'll stop talking about it. I'll stop talking about it.
It's like when you have something and it's or like you have a zit on your face, and you'll say something and someone goes,
Jamie
I didn't
doesn't
even
hear
notice
it.
it.
All right,
See?
awesome.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Jamie.
I'll stop talking about it. I'll stop talking about
now
it.
She's just
I'm just
got
self-aware.
everybody now going.
I mean, that's me breathing through my nose, but it annoys me when I'm breathing
She
through.
did it then.
When I'm breathing through my mouth and I can hear it. And then it makes me feel like I'm actually wheezing from my lungs. So,
yes.
Brenda Drake Gammon just said, congratulations to Chris Bedeker and elect Andy Nolan for Justice of the Peace Precinct 3. So, congratulations to both of them. We have a new county judge. I'm so excited. He wants to come back on and be quite a frequent guest to really keep the communication open about what's going on in the county. And I'm so pleased about that, because that is something that we've all been talking about, is we need more communication across the county, not just from each of our cities that we live in here in Johnson County, Texas, but we need to come together and as one large community, because that's what we are. I think when people are saying shop local, I'm and do business local, I personally am looking at it as a county,
right,
a countywide type of thing, and not just Burleson because I live here and do business here, but across this entire county. And I'd love to see more people across the county really pushing for that. That's one of the things I love about the Cleburne Chamber of Commerce is there are members from all over Johnson County that get involved in not just that community,
right,
but in the communities in general. John Junker, I'm going to just brag on him for a quick minute. He's the owner of the Cleburne Railroaders, and he hosted a couple weeks ago a multi-chamber event out at the fields, and so I thought it was just such a brilliant idea. And hashtag better together.
right.
And that is the theme of JoCo Fest, which we'll talk more about down the road. But it's coming, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic event. If you're interested in being a part of an advisory board or an action committee, please reach out to me at joe.co at jococommunityradio.com. We'd love to have you on board and be a part of this fabulous event. So anyway, so congratulations to Chris and to Andy for our local elections. And, thank you to their opponents who, did sacrifice over these past 9 months to run for an office. It takes a lot to put your hat in the ring to run for something. So yay. Somebody raised their hand on social media and said, me. Awesome. So anyway, it takes a lot. It's a lot of sacrifice, and it's a lot of work to try and get elected into a position. So, so thank you to all that didn't
run. Sit back and just sit in silence. They chose to step up and
here's what I hope.
All of them all the candidates.
I hope that and I remember asking Wes Powell this, or was it Wes, or was it the other Wes that had run? When you want to run for Will, I meant Will, yeah. I don't know
And
which
it was
one
a
of them
W.
I asked, but
I might be able to remind you.
but I know that I asked candidates that if they, if they don't get the election, if they don't win the election, do they plan to still be involved and be a part of the solution and to help create positive change in our community? Because that was your ultimate goal. I encourage you to do that. How do you still stay involved, but in a positive manner? Not wreaking havoc on the people that beat you in the election, and not wreaking havoc on the area that you lost, that you're no longer serving in, if you were incumbent. Ask yourself, how can I be a positive,
Right.
have a positive effect still on my community versus having a negative effect? And I think if you're sitting around attacking your opponents after they've won, you're doing a disservice to your community, and you're fixated on outside. What's going on out there? Parking lot's filling up because Harvest
No,
House.
I am listening to you, but I'm thinking of,
It's very bright.
especially if you're fixated for a year or so after the whole thing. It's sad.
I think just being, just in general, find a way where you can serve positively and give back to your
Right.
community. It's just so, it's a simple decision. Choose what you're focusing on, whether it's revenge and vengefulness because you lost, versus why did you run in the first place? If you were running to serve,
Right.
then serve your community in any way that you can. So
I know there are some candidates that we know that did not win certain positions, and they're still positive. They're still doing what they can to help serve the community. And you know what? I know one of them for a fact said, "I'll run again. I'll try again."
and that's all you can do.
They don't have a bad attitude. They don't feel revenge. They don't hate the person that won over them. And that's good.
Well,
know?
I mean, you're running for school board for
Mhm.
Burleson. Of course, we don't know when the election is
Right.
yet because they haven't made a decision. Hopefully, they will hold a special school board meeting
Correct.
to make the decision because it's not the next one's not scheduled. Regular
Right.
meeting is not scheduled until June, and
And
I think
I
that's a
have
disservice to wait until June to meet and make a decision. And certainly, they can't be meeting and talking about a date and
Mhm.
holding a quorum. So they have to hold that public meeting, and they
Right.
need to set a special session meeting.
I've reached out to ask if there's any update, and I was told when there was something, they would post it. And I said, "Well, I'm a candidate, so I'm hoping I will actually get a phone call too."
Right. This isn't yeah. So, if anybody's listening from the school district, the
Right.
Burleson School District or the school board, I implore you to not drag your feet, and to hold a special meeting and discuss this and pick a date and figure out when you're going to do this. It's the right thing to do at this point. You've already held it back this long,
Mhm.
and it needs to happen.
And citizens are asking. I
Yeah.
promise you, I get daily inbox, text, email, messenger daily
Right. If you're gonna
from people.
if you're gonna try and set it for November and do a joint election, which would be more cost effective, obviously,
Right.
make the decision and just put it out there.
Right.
If that's what you're trying to figure out, talk to the city, talk to the county, and figure out how you're going to do it. Unless you're going to hold a special election, before that.
Correct.
So, but make the decision. Let's go. I
Mhm.
mean, there's how many of you on that school board? It doesn't just have the meeting. and
Right. I don't
pull
know
the
why.
trigger, make a decision.
I don't know why we're waiting for so long. But I will still be at meetings because that's my duty to be there listening, watching, learning and absorbing. So I'm not there to just go, is there a time yet, a date? So if you see me there, it's not because that's what I'm doing. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
You're being staying informed.
Yes.
So, I wish that the school board meetings would be
Be
live.
live.
It would really
know.
help parents know what's going on and get them more involved. But again, are we in a school district that doesn't want the parents involved? I was talking about this when we talked about this, talking about the safety and the shooting in Uvalde yesterday. And we were talking about glass. And please, if anybody knows anything different at this point, feel free to correct me or share the information or call in 817-637-2585. Share any information or comments that you would like to share. But I look at the design of Kerr Middle School right now, which they did a beautiful job with the building in general. But I have genuine concerns with the way that a lot of the classrooms are set up. They have glass walls.
Right.
So if a shooter does get into Kerr Middle School, and I'm not trying to scare parents, I'm a parent with a 6th grader there, and I've got 2 more years now in that school. And so I'm trying to think about and also talk with my child about safety. What do you do? What's the protocol? Because you can't just shut the door and lock the kids in the classroom. They're glass.
Right.
So a shooter can shoot through the glass, or they can see that there's students in there. So that's something too I would like to know. I would like an email. I would like an email and some sort of communication from the school district or from the school, or each school should be communicating what the safety protocols are if an active shooter were to come into the school and get into the school in any way. Where are my kids going? Where are the
Right.
kids? Where's the safety room? And how are you going to get them there? If they are in if they are in one of those classrooms that has a full glass wall. So I would like to hear it. I don't know what that protocol is, and our children most definitely they're watching the news, they're seeing stuff, and they know what's going on, and this has brought on their own concerns and their own anxieties. And we need to be transparent with the kids about what's happening. I mean, my 11-year-old is upset. He's upset. He just said, I can't believe that 19 children are dead. It's just, and we're talking second graders to 4th graders
Right.
are gone. And that does bring worry on your children and on parents, obviously. So answers. We just need answers. What's the protocol at each individual school? And I look at Kerr, and the 6th grade hall, loops around, but you have to come back to the cafeteria area in order to get to, run through there to get back to the choir rooms, which are all closed off cement walls, over in that area. But how are you going to get them there if you've got an active shooter who came
Right.
through the front door? And so it's just, maybe I sound crazy. Maybe I don't as a parent. Oh, someone's calling.
It's a spam.
Is it spam? I
It
suspect a
says that.
spam caller. Let's see. Oh, I lost him. But I missed your
you're
call.
live on the
If
air.
you're yeah. If you're really trying to call us, please do. You can call back. Anyway, comment. We need to get our priorities in line. School shootings are not new, but we are more concerned with indoor practice facilities and fluff than safety. I absolutely agree with you.
100%. Someone said that
Yeah.
also on Facebook. They said, I'm tired of focusing on
Football.
athletics and
Football.
stuff like that.
Football.
Yes, football.
I'm sorry. I'm just going to say
Well,
it over and over and over
yeah,
again.
Right.
It's as if it's some sort of moneymaker for a school. That's
not.
Trying to entice people to come to your school district because you have a big football stadium. Who gives a shit?
Right.
Okay. The percentage of kids,
how
the
are
percentage of kids going into the NFL who play in high school is it's 1%.
Yeah.
1 or 2%, I believe is the statistic. So in all of Texas, parents who've spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on football, and on school districts who've spent millions, high schools,
Yes,
who have spent millions of dollars on football fields rather than on education. Also shows you why here in Texas we are 34th, I believe, in education, somewhere around those numbers. That should speak volumes. But hey, we got great football programs, former NFL players that are, coaching our teams,
a lot of money for,
and I'm not sure.
And we have great teachers that are not making that kind of money.
Well, and I'm not even sure that the protocol to where if you're an athletic teacher or a coach, you must also be teaching in a classroom.
Right.
So are they all teaching in a classroom?
Not from what I understand.
I'm not making any accusations. That was something I had read. So I'd love to have verifiable information on that. Are they teaching in the classroom, and what are they teaching? And so and what are they trained to teach? So I don't necessarily believe that if you're an uneducated health teacher, that just because you teach gym class and you're a coach, that you should be teaching health or sex education. Just throwing that on to anybody, I think is
yeah, that's what normally
completely inappropriate.
Oh,
But
you look like you probably could teach, health.
Can you describe what syphilis looks like, or gonorrhea? I'm sorry, people. Not things people want to talk about in the morning, but those are things that I actually remember learning in high school as in part of the sex ed class. There was like textbooks with pictures, and you were like, "Oh my God,
Oh, yeah,
that's terrifying." Pictures go a long way with kids.
Yes.
Like, hey, if you want to ensure that a teenager puts a condom on, show them what it looks like if they don't. This was what could happen to you, like a poster child.
Yeah.
This could be you. This could be you. This could be your genitalia. All right, scrolled over into that. Sorry about that. It's just one of those things that I remember. But I want my kids to learn like that. I want my kids to get out of high school and remember learning that part of sex education, right? The prevention, care, birth control, condoms, respect, consensual sex. Those are the types of things that I think fall into that realm. The basics of the birds and the bees belong at home, and I get that on a lot of in a lot of homes that conversation never happens, but in today's world, before that conversation even happens, a lot of kids already know what a lot of the stuff is, because they have a cell phone and a tablet and TikTok, Instagram. I mean, they're learning this stuff. It's out there. Okay, so I've got a few tips that I've pulled up on because it is Wellness Wednesday, and it is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I think that that's one of the biggest challenges that we have here in the United States is our lack of mental health care funding and education. Again, see something, say something. Don't be someone that I'm not saying take out binoculars and look through your neighbor's windows, but if you see something that is a cause of some sort of concern or behavior change in a child that you see on a regular basis, you have to say something. You have to say something so that we can address these issues and help these people. Mental health is not a joke. This is serious, and we have to get rid of the stigma of it, and we have to let people know that it's okay to discuss it. It's okay to be bipolar. A giant portion of the population in our world may be bipolar. These are real things. There's medication for it, counseling, and if you just are feeling down in the dumps, this pandemic really screwed with our kids. So anyway, make sure you attend to self-care. Here's a few tips. Attend to self-care. Take care of yourself. And this includes your children. Make sure they're eating and sleeping, and get out for a walk with them. Get them into some sunshine and keep them moving. Have these discussions and concerns that they might have and fears that they may have since the shooting. but get out and take a walk and have those conversations with them. Pay attention to your emotional health. Remember that a wide range of feelings during these difficult times are common. Know that others are also experiencing emotional reactions and may need your time and patience to put their feelings and thoughts in order. So, again, it's also about paying attention to what's going on with the people around you as well. So, try to recognize. Just a reminder, I'm not a healthcare provider nor an expert. I am pulling this off of expert information off of counseling.org, where you too can go and reading. And I'm actually reading something very specific that's coping in the aftermath of a shooting. So try to recognize when you or those around you may need extra support. Avoid overexposure to media. Oh my gosh. I just want to tell you now, I know you're going.
No, I'm thinking all
Okay.
media.
Well, just
Sorry.
I want to say this.
I know where you think I'm going.
Well, but I want to say that I did this after 9/11.
I did too.
I was.
I know what you're saying.
I was on a plane that day. I got stuck in Colorado, and I lost classmates who worked in the towers, and I have my own PTSD from that. But when I was able to actually drive home, finally, when they opened up the rentals to get home. First of all, I drove home like a bat out of hell. I was living in Lubbock at the time, and that's all I did when I got back. I watched the news for probably 7 days straight, maybe even 14, way overexposure, because I kept seeing something that I saw when I was in the hotel in Colorado that stuck with me for a very long time. But I didn't get back on a plane for, I think, 3 months. And then my boss was like, hey, are you gonna go back?
You should have come to work. Come back to
So,
work.
so I did. So avoid overexposure to the media.
Because
and
you
same thing with the
start
kids.
getting obsessed.
Yes.
And it does affect you mentally. I remember I did the same thing, and I remember just staring at the sky.
Yeah.
And Haley was only, 3 months old at the time. I remember just sitting in the living room,
staring,
looking out at the sky, just seeing if there's another plane.
The avoiding overexposure to media, that means take the phones away from your kids too. Keep them off of stuff as much as you possibly can, and just get them back outside playing. Maintain contact with your friends and family. Focus on your strength base. Who is there for you, your foundation, and talk to others as needed. And again, always reach out. There are helplines that you can email, call for help, ask for help. And again, go to counseling.org. There's some amazing information there and resources for you. Yes, Jamie Stanford just said, please, if you're taking any medication for bipolar or any of that, please read the side effects and the black label warnings that there are about it, and research it. So thank you guys for joining us this morning. Be blessed, hug your children, and we'll be back in just a few minutes with a guest on the JoCo Business Connections. We'll be right back.
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godley, this is the voice of Johnson County, JoCo Community Radio.
Accelerated Graphics and Signs, 101 East Renfro, Sweet C in Burleson, Texas, can handle all of your graphic needs. Need a banner or promotional products for your business? They got you covered. T-shirts and caps